Radio. Rahim here with Don Charles. I'm almost at a loss for words, man. I gotta tell you, it's a long time I've been in this game, and a lot of fights I've been to, countless really. But sometimes you have an emotional connection to an event, you know? And to be fair, it's not just you, but it is deepest with you because we spent so much time, especially over these past few months together. But I came to London because of Anthony Joshua. It was his stardom that brought me over to cover British boxing in the first place. And then having met you shortly thereafter and seeing a man on a mission, a man with a unique kind of drive and a welcoming spirit. You welcomed me into your gym. We did videos there. You've trained me for free. I can't afford this, man. And, you know, a bond has grown over time. So last night seemed like the pinnacle of so many relationships. And I felt at home here. The fans are welcoming me. Everyone is on the edge of their seat waiting to see what happened. And for the preceding 5 to 6 days, you're laid up, vanquished, empty.
Yeah.
What is that 6 days like, knowing that the clock is ticking and you've got to deliver?
Yeah, you know, I always say I'm thankful, grateful to the Most High, God Almighty, our Maker. And I spoke to my Father, God, that is, our Father. Give me strength. Why? Why now? Why at the moment of my need, at the hour of my need, what I've been pursuing, I don't very often get ill. And I got struck down by a very heavy cold. And as I was, like you said, I was laid up in bed for past 6 days. And I was like, please, God, give me strength. Because my legs went, I couldn't walk. You know, because of that, I had really bad down. And so anyway, the power of prayer, the power of the mind, day by day, I got better to the timing. It wasn't so much that I was quite frail the way I was feeling. I didn't want to pass what I had because you have to go through a period, the incubational period, where you could easily, it's contagious, cold. So I had to not go anywhere near Daniel Dubois, so that if he picked up what I got, then it's either he couldn't fight or the fight is off. And to go into a fight of this magnitude, a fight of his life, not feeling 100%, I would never forgive myself. So I removed myself from all the gatherings, you know, pre-fight gatherings, the promotional week. And luckily, you witnessed a lot of it. We'd finished camp successfully. So the timing of the illness was almost, if I had to get it, was actually the perfect time because we'd finished a 13-week program, 12-week program. On the 13th week, I fell ill. 13th week being the fight week, where you don't actually, you reduce the training capacity down to mere 20% training. Because it's fight week, you don't do an awful lot, you know? So yeah, I was grateful for that. Then I was able to get well literally 24 hours before the actual event to have enough energy to be able to be present, to be able to do the job for my guy and support my guy, Daniel.
Now, you're a strong man. I've seen you take punches from heavyweights, Dubois, who we now know, if we didn't before, how hard this man hits.
After day.
Fighter after fighter. The fighter gets exhausted, goes home to rest, and then
the next
Don Charles brings in a new fighter that's fresh, and he never gets to rest. So sometimes it's the mind that stops the body.
Mind power.
That sometimes it's your mind that says, I need a break, you need a break, and we'll shut you down. The amount of energy and stress that goes into building a fight like this.
Yeah, the stress level, it's unmeasurable. But you know, when you're determined, when you believe you're on a mission, you said in the beginning of this conversation, when you're on a mission, literally on a mission, I am on a mission. I've always been on a mission from the day I arrived in England back in 1974, October 1974. which coincided with the Rumble in the Jungle, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman in Zaire. Yeah,
It's the anniversary, you know.
correct. I came into this country. I was 14 years old, and when I saw that fight here in the UK on television, that's what got me into boxing.
Amazing.
So it's the anniversary, right?
Yes, this is the anniversary year.
Oh
yeah.
my God, how fitting that I then trained a heavyweight world champion on the anniversary of the event that actually got me interested in boxing. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Rumble in the Jungle is an interesting reference because that was another build-up that was so stressful for both fighters. It became iconic. I think last night will be one of those iconic nights. It will be,
I would say so, yeah.
you know, a moment that will
Will
forever
be
be
remembered.
remembered.
Yeah.
And when I talk about the stress of the build-up, was this the most difficult and the most important fight you've had throughout your career?
It depends on how you view it. In terms of difficulty, you come across. No, it wasn't the most difficult fight to train for. No.
The camp, the atmosphere around your name and what the legacy would ultimately be.
Yeah, the magnitude of it obviously is the biggest.
Yes.
The size of it, and what it would mean if you succeed, and what it would mean if you fail.
Right. Right.
It was unthinkable to fail. Failing was unthinkable. It used to frighten me. I would be lying in bed, especially when I was ill. You know, when you're ill, you're weak. Everything is low. Your morale is low. You know, negative. I mean, human being, negative thoughts starts to creep in. You know, the devil's trying to get you. Yeah, and then I panic. I stand up. I said, "The devil is a liar." I start chanting like a madman. I'm not mad. It's just a thing I do to get myself back. Yeah, the devil is a liar. My late mother, God rest her soul, used to say it a lot, and Derek Chisol's mom always says that as well. So I've started to use that, and it really works. You know, if you're ever feeling down, feeling low, start doubting yourself, just chant, "The devil is a liar." Keep repeating, and the devil will run away. Trust me. So use it.
Well, you taught me that chant, and I've been using it ever since. One of the times I had to use it over the last week was when I read all these reports from all corners of the media. Granted, your absence is going to be noticed, but what filled that void, because you were quiet, was rumor and innuendo, and a lot of people taking their shots at you before the fight.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to be in a situation where the press, the boxing world, on the precipice of the biggest fight of your career, where you say, you know, loss is unthinkable, that people are not only assuming that your absence is because of some negativity, but also taking that opportunity to discount you as a trainer?
Well, that's devil's work. Devil never goes to sleep. That's another thing my mother used to say. The devil works overtime all the time. So you have to be alert or it's going to catch you out. So all that was happening was the devil trying to infiltrate, you know, penetrate. Yeah? Then God gave me strength. I got better to fight off all the negative energies. Okay, and yeah, God is great.
I mean, that's, again, you have an incredibly positive attitude, but the truth of it, British boxing, especially even around the world, is a difficult place to get the credit that you deserve, especially as a trainer.
All right. I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but the thing is, when we're looking for credits or pats on the back, I was born in the 60s, okay, 1961. I'm 63 years old now. And from my generation, from a little African boy, he came to the UK to seek education, to better my life. In terms of what I'm trying to get to is that nothing nothing can stop me. Only God can stop me. Yeah, that desire, that drive. Yeah, the work ethic, the whole thing. Nothing. I feel unstoppable in what I do, and I believe so much in what I do that, like I said, only God who empowered me can stop me.
You made a promise to yourself
Yes.
when you entered this sport
Yes.
that this day,
Yes.
today,
Till this
was
day.
coming.
Till this day.
Yes, till this day,
Yeah.
and the day has arrived. Has it? If it hasn't, but if it has, how did you meet that moment?
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say, I started speaking. I went off
Yeah.
looking for pats on the back or appraisals or people. No, that's not. I'm not after that. My mission, I haven't even told you. I'm not going to tell you what my mission is. Yeah. I'm on a journey, on a mission. When you're on a mission, you're on a journey. Yeah. I know where I would like the journey to. Yeah. Coincidentally, when Anthony Joshua first won the Olympic gold, and 9 months later we had a meeting with view to work together. When he asked me to become his professional coach, I started crying in my living room. He said, "Uncle, why are you crying?" I told him a brief history of what I'm telling you about my when I came to England. I was on a mission to, but I didn't know that boxing was the vehicle that was going to take me towards my journey. I didn't know it was boxing coaching. Yeah, I came here to study like a typical African. My parents came here, they brought their children to study. I didn't know it was boxing that was going to be the vehicle that would take me towards my journey to complete my mission. So Anthony is he bear witness to this one day that when he commissioned me, would I be because I did work with him as an amateur, and then when he went away, God blessed him because the way he accelerated and just rose and rose through the amateur ranks, and it was his destiny to go and achieve what he achieved. And as an amateur, then turned pro. Then he asked me, "Uncle." He refers to me as uncle. It's a respect in Africa. Your elders, you refer to them as uncle. I'm not his biological uncle. And I told him, yeah. And as much as I'm very, very happy, obviously, as I sit here with you, there's also a sadness in me that although he's accomplished, he's overachieved, in my opinion, what he's gone and done. The young man that met me in the streets in 2000 and round about 2005 to 2007 to ask for my help in the street. He'd only had 6 amateur fights when he met me, 6 or 8 amateur fights, and I got involved with him. To see him have grown, then to go and win Olympic gold, I said to him, "You're blessed." Yeah, and then look what he's gone and done to boxing, world boxing. Yeah, so to sit here, I wish it wasn't him that was in that ring last night, but it happened to be.
I guess it had to be. He has recounted this story publicly over this past week.
But he dismissed it. It was very, because the people around him, it suits him to dismiss it. But I will tell my story. Yeah? You know, as we know, history, as in history, about the Egyptians, about the Romans, it's come from that terminology. His story. Your story is your story. My story is my story. His story. I will tell my story of my journey, and he was part of that journey. So I will tell my story.
When he comes to the conclusion of that story, though, he says, "Don Charles asked me or told me I shouldn't come around to his gym anymore."
But he arrived at that. That quite upset me, I'll be honest with you, because it was like brushed off. Met him in a petrol station. No, you didn't. I met Derek in a petrol station. Him stopped me in the street. And then he sparred Derek. Then I said to him, "Don't come to the gym anymore." It wasn't quite like that. And this was over a period of 5 years. So you can't just dismiss it like that. It happened. But we're not here today about that. It's just the way you're talking to me, and it's bringing up. I'm a very emotional guy.
I understand, and I'm not getting at it for that reason, except that when he says that, I felt there was pain in his voice. Like
Yeah, of course there will be, because he knows the truth.
Well, okay. Does the truth differ from that?
Hello, you Americans are hello. Yes, I'm afraid so. I will tell my story. My story is not to discredit anybody or to put anyone. No, how it happened. Tell it how it happened.
Do you think that at the time that he was at his career, and you had Chisora, who was, I guess, further along in his career, you had a loyalty with Chisora.
Yes.
That this hurt
Yes.
Anthony Joshua, that he had to be excluded from training with you.
Now you're trying to lure me into actually. No, I'm not going to elaborate anymore today on that particular piece.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's a sad story. It's a sad story. Yeah.
I only asked because I saw it.
Yeah.
From him.
Yeah. It's a sad story. It's a sad story.
That loyalty that kept you at Chisora in those years, and even though your journey with Dubois hasn't been long, it has been
incredible.
Not incredible, but incredibly substantial. Like this time with you and Dubois will be thought of really. Obviously, it's not the beginning, but really the beginning of his career. He had a shot at Usyk. We all know what happened in that fight. In the arc of these 4 fights, you've made the legend of Dubois and Charles. That kind of loyalty, knowing how it can bite you in the butt, is it because it was Joshua? Does it seem like a full circle? Like being the man that you have been over these many years, staying true to who you are and staying true to your fighter, staying true to your mission, it almost had to be Joshua for it to become a full circle moment.
I get it, of course. I get it. That's the way God wanted it. That's the way it's been written. I keep saying to people prior to the fight, that's the way it's been written. That's what I mean by that. All these events, the way they're happening, that's the way it's been written. Destiny, yeah? So, yes, it had to be Joshua, but I wished it wasn't because of the connection.
Right.
He had a dream to become a 3-time world champion. And how can you write that? Then suddenly the man who's going to aid to stop that is a person who was very close with him from the beginning of his developments.
And people would have said, "Oh, Don Charles was a fool. He made a mistake. Look what Joshua went on to do." And yes, Chisora's accomplished, but you wouldn't have been the underdog all these years.
Correct. It's all meant for a reason. The way God plans things, us humans, we don't see it, but God has the master plan. Like I always acknowledge Tunde Ajayi because he says it. God doesn't make mistakes. God's plans, We have our plans, and God, our maker, has plans for us, each and every one of us. And sometimes when it goes wrong, not the way we want it to be, God says, when it's my time, God's time, that's when the right time.
And we never know what God's timing is, no matter how much we
that's
pray
what makes
and
us
hope.
Human.
Yes. But when God rings the bell, and he did on Saturday night, less than 24 hours ago, you'll find out what the plan is. First round. When Dubois dropped Joshua, early, even if you're picking Dubois to win, you're not thinking he's putting Joshua on the canvas inside the first 2 minutes. In the corner, what are you thinking?
Just go stay calm. Stay calm, Don't get excited. It's a fight. It's a 12-round fight. Don't get excited. And he recovered. He got to regroup. Joshua, he got up and he fought on. And he showed a lot of courage. He got up. A lot of fighters would have stayed down. He got up and he went down multiple times. Every round, I think he touched down. And he fought on. And he had us in, when I say momentarily, he clipped us with a couple of significant shots. And Daniel, like I said to you, this kid, the blessed child, well, he's a young man now, he's 27. Yeah, this blessed young man. Yeah, I mean, he said, I will not be denied. He said that all through the press conferences, pre-fight press conference. He said it. He said, I will not be denied.
He was denied in the first round because that second bell rung, which is the bell that ends the round. The referee had Joshua standing, and it appeared like maybe if the round had been another 30 seconds, it could have been stopped right then. A lot of people are having discussions about the referee's performance last night.
No comment.
No comment.
You know why? No comment. God scripted it like that, and God knew what the conclusion would be. Yeah? So no comment. We knew going into that fight, we knew that we're going to be the judge and the jury in that fight. We knew. You have to go in with your eyes open in certain situations. Yeah? We respect the referees, that they're there, but you have to take it into your own hands to be the referee and the judging for a fight like that.
The way Dubois fought last night was so disciplined. Like you say, don't get excited. Don't, overreact to such a great moment so early. You get him back in the corner. Is this fight, from that first moment between rounds in the corner, feeling like you have gotten through to Dubois, not only in training, but on the night in a way that you hadn't before?
He's maturing every fight. He's showing different things. There's different understanding between him and the team, myself, We've got this winning streak, and long may it continue, where we're building on. It's been 14 months that we've been together. We got thrusted with the Usyk fight 14 months ago, and we'd only been together for like 3.5 months before we contested against Usyk, who's now the undisputed world champion. And
no, he don't have the IBF.
It doesn't have, but he is the last one. You know what I mean? Yeah. I understand. Yeah. So he went on to become the undisputed champion. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So and then we've been building this I keep saying layers, and there's so much. He's 27 years old. He just turned 27. It's exciting to build. We're building layers, and he's just getting better and better. And there's still loads more of development. It's all there. It's all there. Just unlocking them. All the components they're intact. They're all dormant. A lot of them are dormant. Just need to be reactivated. That's what you're saying.
So much has been discussed about Hrgovic Dubois and all the right hands, how many rounds Dubois took those right hands early. So when you come out in the second round, you know now that Joshua made it out of the first. He got a chance to rest. He's recouped his corner. You know he's going to come out and try the money punch. Like, he's got to get out of trouble.
That's what they've been working on. Hit him with a right hand and you knock him out. They're right. Joshua hits anyone with a right hand, he usually knocks them out. But they've spent a whole camp practicing on right hands. Yeah? There's a lot of other shots there in the boxing that you need to also work on. There's something called defense, how to defend a jab. You need to work on. And I did allude to the fact, I said, I hope they're going to have to do some defending. I was very vocal on that. I said, we're doing our homework, so we don't get nailed with the amount of right hands we took against Hrgovic, which is kind of unreal. It was like, for us, where did that come from? Yeah? So we had to make sure we couldn't do that going into any fight, especially this one. But I also alluded to the fact that they too better learn how to do, because they knew they're going to have to do some defending, and they obviously hadn't worked on that, because they couldn't defend a basic jab. The most basic punch in boxing is a jab. You need to know how to defend it.
By the second
someone at that level should be shown how to defend a jab. What they've been doing, they call it film studies, yeah? Anyway, don't get me started, because there's a lot of I'm not a bitter man. There's a lot of anger when I hear the bullshit that's been sold to boxers. Yeah, that's lazy coaching. That's lazy coaching. It's overrated. Film studies are overrated. You film study us. Okay, we'll change that particular thing you've been studying on us. What are you going to do?
Right.
What are you going to do? I spend time practically on the practicalities to perfect what we do, what the boxer does, from defense to offense. Keep practicing. Get yourself to be the best you can be at what you do. You can overstudy people, and then what it will do is spook the actual fighter out. They spooked Joshua out by overstudying us.
And in the second round, I think what you're saying proves to be true because Joshua didn't entirely get out of trouble. Dubois was able to land big shots in the second round, which had Joshua reeling again. Also, the referee started to warn Dubois about the head.
Yeah.
After that round...
If you're clinching somebody,
yeah,
you're inviting the person to rest their head. And a guy who fights like Daniel, Mike Tyson used to do, Holyfield does it. If you're going to clinch them, where am I supposed to put my head? Here? No, I'm going to put it on your chest. Safety. Hide your chin there. It's not like he's deliberately trying to headbutt him, no. That is I teach fight. There's the art of boxing, there's also the art of fighting. I teach both. It's a martial art. Boxing is a part of the martial art family. There is a martial art bit that you have to fuse with boxing. There's the boxing, and there's the fighting side of it is the martial art. You have to understand, and you won't understand that if you study boxing on YouTube and become a coach of today. I'm from yesteryear. So I fused the two, the boxing and the fighting. My coach, who coached me as an amateur, was a martial art expert. First things he showed me was inside work. Yeah, I was a heavyweight, but he showed me how to tie people up successfully on the inside, to hurt people on the inside. That's the martial art. I didn't learn that from a boxing coach, but he was a boxing coach. So when I teach, I fuse the two, the martial art, where the martial art meets boxing.
When I saw that, and I saw the warning, I saw the warning again, I thought to myself, this referee's building a case to a very minimum take a point.
Most definitely. That was always our concern going into it. But I also had faith in God, had faith in Daniel Dubois, the fighter. And he's been showing that in sparring, okay, what we will do to people who clinch us and how to hide your chin. Don't leave it here. Bury your head. Like I said, Mike Tyson does it. Evander Holyfield does it. Yeah, they put their head. This is the most safest place. You can't hit me with an effective punch. You can be susceptible to the uppercut, but if you put your head there, to all the students listening, put your head center. Don't leave it there. Move it to the shoulder to shoulder. Don't leave it central all the time.
Once you saw Joshua go down again, you know now that victory is potentially in grasp. And once again, fortunately for Joshua, the round was coming to a close. He got to his feet again. Huge credit to him for keep getting to his feet.
And that's what gladiators
and doing enough to let the referee
That's what gladiators do, yeah.
So at that stage, what do you want to make sure Dubois doesn't do?
Lose his discipline. That's what, in my corner talk, I said to him, right, don't let him back into this fight. Keep your discipline. Refer back to boxing. Stop fighting him for now. Let's start using your jab. He's got a beautiful, horrible, painful jab, Dubois. Let's resort back to that. Open him up again, then fight him. Yeah.
When we come to the close of the fight, now, there's even debate because of the officiating, how many knockdowns there should have been. Do you feel that you were robbed of a knockdown when Dubois hit Joshua and gloves touched the canvas? Frank Warren made a point of this. Like, what I'm asking is, do you feel you were robbed of a knockdown, or that the fight could have or should have been stopped even before the fifth round?
I have no complaints. Absolutely none.
Joshua had, a switch, I believe, in his mind that was like knew that dire straits were upon us. He had to fight. Like boxing's out the window by the time we're in the fifth round.
Yeah.
You
He had to throw caution to win. Yeah. And you know what? Fair credit to him and his team. That was the right thing to say, yo, you need to do something here. Go for it.
right.
They could have got it.
Because that uppercut that you mentioned when you're in,
Okay.
Joshua landed it.
He tried it a few times, and I warned Daniel round about end of round 3, going into 4. I said, watch out. There's an uppercut he's throwing that you have to be aware of, okay? On entrance. He's throwing it as a lead. But he committed cardinal sin, Joshua. You don't throw that uppercut with your left hand here. You don't. I would say shield and then shoot. Yeah, he threw it. Go and watch it. He went to throw an uppercut. And then he left his left hand down, which allowed us through. Dominic Brazil got knocked out by Deontay Wilder. The same thing. He went to throw an uppercut on Wilder, and Wilder nailed him with a beautiful right. The same shot.
That's right. And so seconds after that, he lands another good clean shot on Dubois. Dubois is stumbling a bit. He's reeling. Now, the crowd, who is mostly Joshua fans, are to their feet. They're like, oh, this is about to be the greatest comeback in history.
Yep.
Eddie Hearn said this in the press conference. That's what he thinks is about to happen. When you see Dubois stagger back and reel a bit, what are you thinking?
What am I thinking? He knows what to do. What to do is to tuck in, tuck your chin in. And I said to them when this fight was announced, when they all got carried away, oh, right hand. I said, bear in mind, if you're going to deliver a right hand, you're also in a position to get hit with the right hand. So that's a classic example of what I was trying to tell them.
And then, of course,
That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote.
Joshua takes the big right hand, slumps against the ropes, goes down face first. As you know, when a fighter goes down face first,
It's not a good sign.
almost 100%.
That was almost reminiscent of Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson against Trevor Berbick. It's the same type of effect of a shot. He went down, tried to get up, and just his legs forgave him.
The place goes ballistic.
Yes.
Dubois, in that moment, I've seen it happen where the guy who is the underdog, who is not the favorite locally, even though he's British, Joshua is the king.
Yeah, of course.
Changed hearts in that moment. People go ballistic. The team is going nuts. You're calm.
Yeah.
I've seen you go crazy in
Correct.
a pub match.
Exactly.
a small
But it's just
smoker.
what the emotions that comes over you. Remember, I haven't been that well. So normally there's a jump that I do, my trademark jump. My legs. So I was very emotional. Exactly like I said. The person who was against Joshua, and I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's me. That's me. I didn't plan it. I didn't know how would I act when we win. I didn't. Just the way I felt to remain calm.
I know after the fight, a tradition among sportsmen, and you are one, as everybody involved in this fight was, you go to the opposite corner, you say what you say.
All right, yeah.
Did you have words for Joshua?
Yes, I did. I said, sorry, champ. Sorry, it had to be you in our way.
Did he have a response?
He said, it's okay, uncle.
When you get Dubois, finally you have that powwow after you've both come through and accomplished this moment. That loss was unthinkable, but a possibility. And now it no longer is a possibility. You've done what some thought was the impossible.
Yeah.
What do you say to Dubois?
Daniel Dubois?
Yes, sir.
King Dubois. He said, I'm the king slayer. Remember, he's told everybody. Yeah? I'm the king slayer. So the king slayer, Triple D, I love you. Thank you. And I thank your father for bringing yourself into my life, because they didn't want to credit your uncle, the industry. No matter how many champions I've produced Not world champions, granted. There are British champions, which is hard to produce in this country. I've done multiple. And you made it happen for your uncle. And I will die in peace. With a peace, my heart is in peace. If I die tomorrow, God forbid, my heart is in peace. You've taken to my destiny. Thank you. I thank you.
Well, it's nights like last night that prevent a man from ever dying. You'll never be written out of
I
the
don't want to
history of
die.
this
I don't want to
sport.
die. But if I were, God
And
forbid,
someday we all will,
I've
but
fulfilled
your name and legend will live on.
my journey.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
a
let's
minute.
cut it there. Let's cut it there. Yeah.
I have to ask you just one more about what you as a trainer want next for your fighter. There's a rematch between Usyk and Fury. We know that you feel the Usyk fight, you didn't get a fair shake. We know that Fury is another huge English boxer that could have a fight on the same par of what we had last night in the sense of magnitude. What's right for Dubois?
You know me, from the beginning of my career as a coach, whenever I'm asked such a question, I always refer back to the person who does the job the best, which is the promoter. And he's done a magnificent job for Daniel, Frank Warren. I have to acknowledge him. Thank you, Frank, for the opportunities that you've put to our son, Daniel Dubois, and he's delivered. And we leave it to Frank to sort out what happens next. You can kind of guess what happens next, but I'm not at liberty to expand on that.
Thank you, Don Charles, for the opportunity to witness this incredible moment in history, the build up to it, the training and the ups and downs that went into it, the stress and the adulation at the end. Even this moment when I can still hear sickness in your body.
Yeah, it's not totally out my system, no.
It's not,
you won't catch it, by the way.
No,
it's gone past
listen,
it's gone past the.
It's worth it. I'll take it.
It's gone past the incubation or where it's infectious. It's gone past that.
Well, it's funny because this was such an important moment, and you have been so generous and open and welcoming with your time and your space that I didn't care if I caught it. I'm not even kidding. It's worth it because I got a very unique and exclusive view of this whole thing, and even to see in your eyes the exhaustion, but to know what you've accomplished and how much you needed to accomplish this. Now that it's done, you can say, man, you needed to accomplish
I'm a grandfather now. Yeah, I'm a grandfather. This win, people don't realize what it means. My two little grandsons, Elijah and Hendrix, okay, and they're 1 year old, and to know their grandpa as they grow. They sent me Amy, the mother, my daughter-in-law. She sent me a picture yesterday. I was in the hotel waiting the hours to tick over so I can go to the venue. She sent me a wonderful picture of my grandchildren, and it's almost as if they knew what the message was, that wishing grandpa all the best today, and they were like really focused into the camera. I looked at it and I laughed for a while, and I choked up, and I put the picture away, and that sort of gives you strength, energy,
Yes.
Yeah. So man.
They will grow up being incredibly proud of their grandfather, and their grandkids will know of their grandfather.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is what you've done.
Absolutely.
Thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Always an honor, Don Charles. Radio Rahim with Don Charles.